Thousands of supporters who had waited at the Rivers State Government House, Port Harcourt, on Thursday to welcome the reinstated State Governor Siminalayi Fubara went home disappointed after he failed to appear. Fubara was scheduled to resume duties as Governor of Rivers State on Thursday, following the end of a 6-month emergency rule imposed on the state by the President Bola Tinubu on March the 18th. Join us this morning for today's discussion on the suspension of the emergency rule in Rivers State is human rights activist, Madam Ann-Kio Briggs. A warm welcome to you, ma'am, and thanks for joining us on Breakfast Central this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now, the sole administrator, the former sole administrator, where Admiral Ibas says the emergency mandate was accomplished, but many argue it was undemocratic from the start. Was this handover a victory for the people, or it's just a return to the status quo?
Well, I don't know whom he handed over to, because as you have just mentioned, we have, unless if within the last few hours, some people have seen the governor. We have not yet heard any announcement from our governor addressing the people of Rivers State. So I don't understand what Ibas means by he has handed over the governance to Rivers State Governor, that he had completed or achieved the mandate of the president. Again, we're not clear on which mandate he is talking about, because if we remember, on your mandate we stand, we need to know, Rivers people need to know which mandate, the whole mandate, or just the mandate of Rivers State being captured by a handful of people who are Rivers indigenes and also non-Rivers indigene, by the political system, by the federal government system. There has been a state capture in Rivers State. So until we get answers to some of these questions, and until we actually hear the governor of Rivers State address the people of Rivers State, even if it's just to say to us, I am back, we have not seen the governor, and therefore one can then deduct that the governor has not arrived to take over.
Okay, we'll soon talk about the governor's absence in the government house, but you said that you want answers. Who would you say that you want those answers from? Is it from the federal government that made that activated the emergency rule, or is it from the judiciary that did not make a pronouncement or a judgment as to the legality or otherwise of the suspension of the executive governor of Rivers State?
Actually, from all of these people you have mentioned and more, still from the president. You see, the thing is that in a country like Nigeria, or perhaps in any country really, where they do things by rule of law, the fact that this suspension has been lifted does not in any way mean that this what happened to Rivers State in the last 6 months will never be discussed. It's gone down in the annals of the history of Rivers people, the lives of Rivers people, governance in Rivers State, and historians, even our great-grandchildren who are yet to come, will want to know what happened that led to this and what happened in between that time. But the major person that will have to answer the questions of Rivers people is Ibas. Ibas came into Rivers State, and when he came, there were projects going on when the governor was suspended. He needs to give us answers on those questions. Did he finish those projects he met? And if he didn't, why did he put them on hold? Is it because there was no money? And if there is no money, let him tell us, and we will ask the governor why there was no money. Now, did he meet any money in government house? Because there is an account office in all the government houses in Nigeria. And the revenues that he received in the last 6 months What did he do with those? I have been saying this thing from the day he took over till today. He met our monies, our bank accounts. He received our funds from the local, from the federal government allocation that is due the state. All these questions, he has to answer them. We cannot sweep these questions under the pretext of the suspension, because things has happened in Rivers State that Rivers State people are entitled to answers. And if you look, you just mentioned that the Rivers State Assembly sat yesterday. They've raised some questions that I also have been raising. We have had budget of 2025 presented at one time or the other at a minimum of maybe two or three, and then the assembly members that are now sitting at one time refused to allow the governor to present the budget to them when they said they didn't defect, and which eventually the governor was suspended. Then IBAS presented the same budget 2025, but I believe he had made adjustments to the National Assembly. And now the State Assembly wants to know whether the governor is going to present the budget to them, or he's going to work with the budget that IBAS presented. This is all very confusing for the people of Rivers State. How many budgets does a state? How many budgets does a state have in a 12-month period? And how many people must that budget be presented to? So these are the issues. And then, of course, the one in the last 24 hours, we have not heard or seen from the governor. And if you remember, when the governor was suspended, we also were concerned that immediately after the suspension, we didn't see, at least Rivers people, a few people saw him who were close to him, but the totality of Rivers people, the ordinary people, someone in my capacity and all of that, just on the streets, and I account myself amongst those people of Rivers State, did not see him. So we were concerned. So eventually we got to see him. But the point is that as of today, 24 hours into his recall, we have not seen the governor. Why have we not seen
are you
the
worried?
governor? Some people are asking.
Are you worried about the whereabouts of Mr. Governor and his current state of mind and temperament? Because a lot of people were expected a triumphant re-entry into Government House yesterday. Or do you have any inklings or insinuations as to what might be happening behind the scenes and the reason why he hasn't showed up to work?
Well, going to triumphant, I am not surprised that the governor of Rivers State does not, maybe does not see the triumphant entry, his recall, as a triumphant entry. From the day he was suspended, Rivers people, including myself, were shouting and saying, look, you have to recall the governor of Rivers State. The conditions or the reasons, Mr. President, you have given and accepted based on information that was given to you, because people say, oh, the president receives security information and he is likely to have more information than we have. All right, we accept that. But the point is that we kept saying the people of Rivers State were not heard by the president. He didn't listen to us. And so the 6 months suspension lasted 6 months. I do not see anything to celebrate in that, to say that the governor should come back. When the governor was away, I joined the protests, all the protests that, well, the ones that were from governor's side. People like the women, the praying women, and the whole women of Rivers State were represented in that red march of thousands of women across Port Harcourt. And so if we don't do the same, or if the governor right now is not in Port Harcourt, I'm not concerned for now. I'm not concerned because, as I said earlier, when he was suspended, we didn't see him. And I'm happy that the governor does not see this as a triumph. He didn't win anything. What did he win? He won none of the cases on his behalf. Some of them were thrown out. Some of them are still hanging in the courts. Some of them were judged out of context as far as I am concerned. And so when you look at all of these things, I'm not surprised by, nor am I worried right now that the governor is not on seat.
All right. I mean, just to also confirm, are you saying that the governor for certain is not in Port Harcourt?
I don't know. I'm not a member of his family. I'm not in his cabinet. I don't work in his government. I am an activist. I am someone that tells the truth. I speak for myself and my people, the ones that agree with me. And I speak from what I know, what I feel, and what I can protect and what I can stand by. And so I don't know where the governor is, and I don't expect to know where the governor is until we see the governor. I'm no different from the ordinary market women in terms of that, because I'm not a politician, but I'm interested in what these politicians tend to do in my name, because where Rivers State is today is directly the responsibility of politicians. It's not the responsibility of Rivers people. We didn't put ourselves here. The politicians, APC, PDP, at the beginning of this crisis in 2023, I began to say that the PDP had seriously let down the people of Rivers State, whom they have taken for granted, assuming that every single time Rivers people are going to vote for their preferred party so far, which is the PDP political party. But now we have a governor who has 23 local governments to work with, chairman to work with, whom he doesn't know because he didn't conduct the election, which is his right to conduct. And we have House of Assembly members who still interact with the governor or are displaying attitudes of interacting with the governor as if they are the boss of the governor, opposed to working with the governor.
And that brings me to this question. I'm happy you mentioned the relationship with other units of governance in the state, the House of Assembly and local government. President Tinubu said the emergency rule was necessary to prevent collapse. But looking at where we are today, Rivers State, did it actually resolve the underlying political tension in the state that led to the declaration of the state of emergency? And is what we're witnessing today, is it a piece of the graveyard? And yes.
Definitely, it's a piece of the graveyard. When two people have had a dispute, whether you're a worker in a company and you have been suspended and you are called back, the terms on which you are coming back is very critical, because it may diminish your rights, lower your where you were before the suspension. Anything can happen. So these are the concerns that Rivers people have, and we won't be able to tell until the governor is in government house, working from government house, and his body language, his utterances, his behavior will tell us exactly where the governor is and how the governor is functioning. Don't forget that at a service to honor the late Chief E.K. Clark, the month that he was buried, we had a song of service in Rivers State on a Sunday at Pastor Ziliagri's church. Now, at that place, as the whole world heard the governor say that nobody has asked him how if he wants to come back. We're fighting, going to court, protesting, and yet we don't know whether he wants to come back or he doesn't want to come back. The governor also said that he's not desperate for power. The governor also said that his spirit has left Government House. We can't really forget all of these things. And so if there are issues, we will have to know whether why the governor has yet, maybe he has returned and nobody has seen him, and nobody knows whether he's in Government House, whether he's in Abuja, whether he's in Port Harcourt, whether he's in his home. Nobody knows. And so the piece of the graveyard is what is playing out now. You can see the confusion that is on ground. The governor has been called back, and as I say, I particularly, and a lot of people I've spoken to, do not see this as a triumph. The governor did not win anything. He did not win any court case that was put forward either by him, by people working with him in government, or by ordinary citizens of Rivers State like me and a group of so many other people, PDP members, so many other people that went to court. The president actually also mentioned that in his speech, that there are cases still hanging in courthouses and in courts, lower courts, higher courts, magistrate courts, Supreme Courts, that are still hanging about the Rivers State matter in Nigeria. So you see, I kept saying, and I continue to say, that because Rivers people were denied these 6 months does not mean that we will sweep it under the carpet as people want us to do. I definitely, and the people that I agree with, will continue to talk about what happened to Rivers State until one way or the other we get satisfaction. And that's one way or the other. We'll start with IBAS. IBAS cannot come into Rivers State, should not be able to come into Rivers State, do what he likes. He never interacted with anybody. He never asked. I don't know how he brought about this peace he's talking about. So he has to account for what he has done or has not done in Rivers State.
Okay, we'll talk about the former sole administrator, but want to play the video that you made reference to where the governor did say that his spirit is no longer in the Government House. And many are wondering, is this what is going on? But let's take a look at the video and we'll come back to the conversation. All right. If our producers can play the video of the governor saying that his spirit had left the Government House, wanted to play that for our viewers in case, for those who maybe didn't start the show with us, because that was how we started the show. But let's take a look at the video and we'll continue with the conversation.
Have you asked yourself, do you think I'm even interested in government? I want to ask you, don't you see how better I look? Do you think I'm interested in it? If I have my way, I say it's clear. It's a matter of God. I don't wish going back there. My spirit has left that place, not to go.
That's the video of the governor saying that his spirit has left the Government House. And people are wondering, is that what's happening? And is that why he hasn't yet returned to the Government House? Do you worry about the quality of the government that might come to Rivers State? Should the governor officially return back to the House? Because there are many who wonder that he's been crippled to some extent, politically crippled by this state of emergency that had been put on Rivers State, and that he might not be the governor that the people of Rivers State elected into office. Do you have such concerns, ma'am?
Absolutely. Absolutely, because we were satisfied from May when he was sworn in to the time all this crisis started in the same year, 2023, which was less than 6 months into his tenure, when we began to hear and eventually saw what happened, where the governor was tear gassed, where the governor was doused with water from water trucks or cannons or whatever. So this is, you see, the governor is a human being. The governor is somebody's father. The governor and politics or no politics, you cannot devastate a human being with abuses and insults and disrespect to the seat of power that people of Rivers State has entrusted to him, and expect that he would not feel that if I were not here, I would not be receiving this type of insults. You can't just insult people and think that it will just roll over them. And the governor of Rivers State has gone through a lot as a person in Rivers State, and in the eyes of Nigerians. Even today, people are still, if you go into anything to do with the governor, you will see the comments. There are some supporting him. There are some who don't even understand what is happening in Rivers State. But because of the access to social media, the abuse and the insults continue. Even someone like me, which I know that comes with the territory that I operate in, the insults that one gets just for speaking the truth by people who don't know a thing about what you're talking about. And so, yes, we are concerned that the governor that was suspended, who's done and was poised to do so much infrastructure development that has been lacking in Rivers State since 1999 till today. The governor was taking his time and readdressing those infrastructural. You cannot have a development of the people and the state if you don't have infrastructural development to start with, education, healthcare, security. If you don't have those things on ground, then you're not going to be able to deliver. So now, with the way the governor seems it is coming back to, as I mentioned, 23 local governments, of which 20 belongs to APC. This is not an APC party. This is not an APC state. It's a PDP state. We have only 3 PDP chairmen, local government chairmen. The rest are APC local government chairmen. Some people will jump at what I'm saying now and say, oh, but the election the governor conducted that they cancelled is another party that won those local government elections. That's because the PDP itself refused to partake in the local government election that the governor of Rivers State conducted. And when Wike was governor, he conducted elections. Amechi conducted elections. Dr. Peter Odili conducted elections. Why should Governor Siminalayi Fubara not be allowed to conduct local government election of local government chairmen that will work with him? Now, he has a state assembly that up till now, we don't know if they will work with him. We won't know because the governor is not even back. But looking at what they are saying, we are wondering if this piece will have time. And there is something else I want to point out that the governor said. When they claimed and accepted and told the people of Nigeria, particularly Rivers State, both Nyesom Wike and Siminalayi Fubara, when they came out with the president from Villa and said that they had made peace, he also put a caveat on that. He said he hopes that this time the peace will be allowed to stay. Something to that. I'm just paraphrasing. But that's the meaning of what, if not correctly, that's the meaning of what the governor said. We must listen to the things the governor has said in the past. We have to listen to what he's saying now when it comes to the condition under which he's supposed to function as the governor of Rivers State, who is democratically elected to deliver dividends of democracy, actually democracy itself, to the people of Rivers State. And we are concerned that that may not be possible. But that's a concern. It's not yet a reality. It will become a reality depending on what plays out. One will have to start with the return of the Governor Siminalayi Fubara to the government house in Rivers State to sit in his office and then begin to interact with the people that he is governing and listen to the people that he is governing to know exactly what the people want. But the other thing that the state assembly people said yesterday, the state assembly members said yesterday, that is of interest to me, and I do agree with them, is the fact that there has to be, and they said that they will take it on to know what Ibas did with the monies that he got in the name of Rivers State. That's very critical, because if we don't know what he did with that money, he's a stranger to Rivers State. He's not an indigene of Rivers State, and he cannot continue to refer to Rivers State as his state. Rivers State is not his state. He's from Cross River. So he cannot continue to be saying it's an assault on the people of Rivers State for him to be claiming Rivers State. He's not an indigene of Rivers State. He was imposed on Rivers people, and he has gone. But it was painful for the 6 months that he was imposed on the people of Rivers State. And that's why we're still discussing the issue of Rivers State, because the reaction or the fact that the governor has not yet taken his seat is what people are discussing in Rivers State right now.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us this morning on Breakfast Central.